All right, first thing, do we have any report on from the subcommittee on the salt shed?
No, not at this current
Thank you very
time.
much. That's what I like to hear. No.
We are waiting for plans from our walk.
Oh, that's right. Okay, good. Hopefully by next month we'll have more, so. Then let's go to administration. Oh, there's Lynn. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
So,
So I move that we approve the minutes of November 13th Permanent Building Committee. Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Any objection?
No.
None.
All right.
Great number.
Sorry.
Anything you need to worry about?
No.
All right, okay, I move that we approve the OPM Construction Administration for left field invoice number 58 for the sum of $145,000.
There a second?
A second, but the invoice is 53 if it matters.
Oh, is it 53? Should get around here so I can see it straightforward. Invoice number 53, correct, and thank you.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. John,
Yes.
Aaron,
yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Chip,
Yes.
Mark?
Yes. Hear me?
Good job, Mark.
Very good, Mark.
Good job. I move that we approve SMMA's invoice number 0064-012 for the sum of $107,917.
Any questions or comments?
Second.
Hearing, oh, sorry. Hearing none, any other questions or comments besides the second? Hearing none. John,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Chip,
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Unanimous.
I move that we approve UTS's invoice for $4,004.88. Invoice number 119909.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. John,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Chip,
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Unanimous.
I move that we approve bonds invoice for $10,411,581.76.
Second.
Questions or comments? Don't know what the heck, right? John,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Chip,
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
That makes the total of invoices approved $10,668,503.64.
All right. Lynn, full budget update?
Yes. To date, we have committed 92% of the budget and we have expended 50%. Our construction budget remains unchanged at 223,897,739. And to date, we have an uncommitted budget of 21,621,808. Part of that uncommitted is the owner's construction contingency, which we haven't touched at $11,022,969. And then the owner's soft cost contingency, which is currently at $1,969,084.
Lynn, I noticed that UTS was down to 96,000 left to spend. Is that gonna be enough for all the testing we have to do over the next year? Do you think?
Well, I think that they are starting to slow down some, but we do have some big testing that we want them to do, at the end of the project. I don't know if they'll be the ones that'll do the Wabat test, the whole building air testing or not. But that's around a 40 something $1,000 expenditure, but I do know that a lot of, and we'll have soils testing on the second phase of all this as well. We're hoping that we can get to the end with that budget, but it may be tight.
Okay. Are we worried about any other budgets at this point?
Not at this point, but I mean, I think we have some good budgets, and even with the testing budget, there are a couple of other budget lines in there under the other project costs that we could probably steal some money from to finish out testing if we can't make it in that $96,000 remaining budget,
Probably not a good phrase.
like the utility company
Probably
fees.
shouldn't use the word stealing, Lynn.
Well, I borrow from. How's that?
Take it from one account. to
Take from.
Got a little worried there. All right.
Bad term.
Sorry.
Bad term.
We have to give you a hard time, Lynn. That's why we're here. All right.
All right.
Other questions or comments regarding the budget update?
So our cash flow, again, we are tracking above our projected, and that's basically due to how well the project is progressing along. No really over expenditures or anything. It's just that we're ahead of where we thought we'd be in schedule.
All right. Thank you.
So for the bonds contingency, we have expended $2,499,550 to date. We have a remaining budget of $6,060,851. And the majority of this 2.4 million or 2.5 million is these internal change orders that we've been approving each month. In terms of, we haven't spent any of the owner's construction contingency, and we've spent $235,510 dollars of the owner's soft cost contingency. So in terms of a total of all the contingencies remaining, we have $19,052,904. And we've expended approximately 13% of the available contingencies, and the construction progress is at 50%. So we're doing good, pretty good about, what we have in surplus.
Any questions or comments? Thank you, Lynn.
In terms of holes and allowances, we have $3,417,720 dollars left in holes and $573,604 left in allowances for a total of $3,991,324. And again, our percentage of expenditures is 50%, and actually our construction progress is about 55%. When you look at expenditures against the budget, because we hold 5%, in terms of expenditure, we're really at about 55% in place of construction.
Any questions on holds or allowances? None. All right. All right, why don't we, before we go into the internal change orders, Superintendent Lonans is here and Tim O'Brien, and I thought before we do that, we'll allow Doug, we have some issues to discuss with him, and then we'll go into the change order, if that's all right with everyone. All right. The first, Doug, what do you want to start with? The scanning proposal?
That would be great, Joe.
All right. Your turn.
Yeah, so we're seeking support from the project to scan both HR, human resource records, student records, and special education records to cut down on the amount of information that we're going to need to move from one building to the other. We're still going to need file space and bringing kind of the active files that we have currently in use. What we're looking to really kind of store digitally are kind of the students that have graduated And we need to maintain those records for, I believe, 7 years to kind of make this change. This is really we feel strongly that this is the time to do it and not bring all of the records and all of the information that we have, for example, downstairs in what is a boiler room space from one space to the other, right? We're seeing kind of the remnants of records that needed to be stored that were stored in the old Galvin that are still in the basement of Greenwood. And we're not looking to kind of make that same misstep. And so that's the support we're seeking from the project. We do know that, Tim shot me a note ahead of this and had shared that there were some questions about is this legal to do? And the answer is yes, it is. Most districts right now are storing information digitally, right? So this is in line with the CMR's 603 CMR 23, and as well as the Consumer Affairs and Data Security CMR, and it's also in line with the Mass General Law 149, Section 52C. So we do know that this is the current practice for most districts. And we just really feel strongly like this is a critical time to do this. And really, the biggest issue is we just don't have the space in the new building to move the files that we have, the number of files that we have. So that's really it. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
I'll
I
start.
wanted to make a statement too that FAC 126, Records Management, Digitation, and Archiving Services, there's a whole booklet you can download on it. There's also statewide contracts that allow for this to occur as well. If anybody wants to read up more about what the state contracts allow.
All right.
This
Uh,
vendor is a state contract vendor as well, just so that we're communicating that as well.
All right, just to clarify, I sent everybody on the committee, the three proposals,
Yep.
and there were two proposals for the SPED and one proposal for the central HR payroll.
Yep.
You are seeking, just for clarification, the quote for is it 43,350 or the 48,000?
We are seeking support for both the special education and HR payroll, Joe.
Right, but there are two special ed quotes. You're not
So-
seeking for both of these.
No, the addition, we're seeking for the lower amount from the second proposal.
So it's $43,799. That's the lower of the two proposals,
Yes,
along with for the HR, $30,664.
that's correct.
All right, that clarifies that. That was the first question I had.
Thank
Second
you.
question. These quotes that I looked at,
Yes,
they
sir.
have, they give a number of
Yep.
pages. And I sincerely doubt that you have exactly 650,000 pages. I assume it's probably either more or less. Is this a request for not to exceed this amount? Because if there's less I assume they haven't counted all these. Someone
That's-
sat down there and counted 650,000 pieces of paper. So is this something that if it comes in less, it's gonna be less? Or is this a dead solid number, even if it goes over 650,000 pages?
We believe that this is a solid number. We got a few quotes, Joe. And this was kind of what we thought was the most reasonable. We've gotten quotes considerably higher from other vendors. But in terms of the number of pages, we feel like it's within the scope of the work that's going to be done. We will not come in over this amount of money requested.
So it's gonna be not to exceed.
Correct.
We approve it, it's gonna be not to exceed,
Correct.
correct? All right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You know, these records sometimes contain medical records. What is is there any HIPAA issues regarding this? I just don't wanna have us approve something and someone comes back later with.
Yeah. We've heard from council, Joe, on this, and again, we've spoken to a couple of districts. I heard from a few superintendents just a moment ago. And so, and we also got so council says it is, we are within our rights to do this. They are encrypted and in secure spaces. I mean, that's a big part of, the contract in the companies that we're using is their ability to kind of maintain, confidentiality.
All right. Questions or comments? Aaron?
Are we contracting directly with Inception? The companies, not through Wakefield? This would be the town direct?
I'm not sure,
You mean,
it's a project cost.
Yeah, it's a project cost, but like the contract that's the relationship with this supplier is gonna be direct through
With the school.
Doug and team.
Yeah.
They'll manage this because this is not short term, this is kind of a long term, kind of beyond the timeline of the project.
no, this is short term. This is gonna be done, right, Doug? This is gonna be done before the
This is
project.
a one-time thing.
They
Right, for
stay-
the ongoing, any ongoing fees to maintain and reproduce, will be, picked up by the schools.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is the one-time cost.
the
for the
one-time
long-term-
cost to scan 650 and whatever those number of pages are.
And it's not.
And did they securely destroy the documents after they're scanned? Or do they hold them for a period of time? I'm just curious.
So what they do, it's my understanding, and Tim could probably weigh in here as well, is that they secure and, they secure the documents, scan them, keep them, and while we kind of inventory, so they also inventory every sheet, in every file that they scan. So, what was the word that they used, Tim, in terms of, not auditing, but they account for every sheet that's scanned and they maintain them until we know the digital records are accurate and we can access them. So, and so they will kind of keep those until we know, that we are kind of up and running and can access information as we need. And they will return those files if we so wish. But after we kind of go through it and kind of assess the move, then what we would do, I think in time, we would ask them to just, to destroy the files.
Okay. So I would just want to confirm, I guess, how long this storage of our files is kept, how much cost is set aside for the storage of the materials and how long? Because there might be storage fees that come as a result of this initial.
Okay,
But if there are, the school
the
will.
school's gonna have to pay for it.
Right.
The project is only approving what they're
One-time
presenting
scan.
tonight.
I guess
God,
It just might aid in like comparing costs with different vendors, just kind of, this might be a longer term relationship that the school has with this company. We might want to ask the costs for longer term.
So the way that we prepared these documents and the services that we've requested was that like Doug mentioned, the documents be inventoried prior to their exit from the district, inventoried again upon their arrival to Inception's offices, and then retained until we're able to verify that all the documents that we've provided have been digitized, at which point those documents would be destroyed as the law allows. And then that's all included in the quotes you see before you.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and like Doug mentioned, any additional costs, if there, any additional costs that we would incur in the process of this would, we would take responsibility for, but we don't foresee that happening.
okay? John?
One follow-up question to that, and then just a question more for our group, but is there ongoing like licensing fees that you'll incur for this? I know that won't be part of the project, but are we adding to the ongoing school budget for the future to be able to access your online documents now and stuff? Is it like licensing fee or anything, or is it you have them on your internal networks and you just have it?
Right, those will be provided to us on encrypted hard drives. And so we would be able to retain those in-house. There won't be any licensing fees
Got
involved.
it. Great. I guess my thought about this is, as I saw the stuff you sent out, Joe, I'm just wondering, like, is operationally managing the schools, records like this part of the school building project? I don't know that makes sense to me. I could be swayed maybe by discussion, but to me, this is how we should be managing records in a department of a town, and I don't know how it fits into the budget that we're spending to build the building.
I think it's allowable by MSBA because MSBA does not allow the square footage of storage that current schools have. And they allow us to expend project funds in order to reduce the amount of storage square footage that would be built in the new building.
So
You're
this
telling me
is
that
partially reimbursable?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it partially reimbursed?
Yes, it depends on what budget line that we use it out of.
We're gonna take it out
Or
of,
you'll use it out of the right budget line to get us reimbursed?
That would be the goal.
I mean, I justify this based on the fact that we don't have the square footage to put it anywhere, right? We didn't plan to move it, and I justify it also as it's a one-time event in the moving from one building to another. And as long as it's one time, not reoccurring, not looking, which it can't be because at some point we close out the project, I'm fine with it. And particularly where MSBA will pay for some of it, and we have a moving line budget, which this can come out of.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's certainly cheaper than building square footage to store it.
And by the way, if it comes to it, I added this up, and if my my math is correct, it's $74,443, not to exceed that.
But we'll, if we vote on this tonight, I'll do it as two separate votes, one for the 30 and one for the 43. Yeah, but that is the total.
I had 74,463, Joe, but we'll have to check the math.
Listen,
We'll check the
what's
math on
the
that.
in school, taught me how to do math.
Or 463 is the correct.
Maybe. So, yeah, I was gonna ask where this was gonna get, what line item this would be funded through.
Out of the moving budget.
Moving.
Yeah.
Moving, that's not gonna affect moving. And I know this is a lot of work, but like, if you have to verify that everything they scanned is correct, wouldn't it make any sense to just do this internally and spend the money, give someone a job all summer to just scan, take the staples out, scan it and index it, then under scan, you know what I mean? Like, it's $74,000. There's no way to make that happen with some temporary workers over the summer rather than, I don't know, it seems like we're spending a lot of money to outsource this, where it's just taking staples out, looking at what the document is, scanning it, making sure the scan is correct, and then putting it in a file. That's all Inception is doing. They're not doing anything to.
But they're also then shredding.
Well, then
shredding
you bring in a
is a
shred
huge
truck,
number now,
you bring
too.
a shred truck and
Right,
then
but
you
that's
dump it in.
expensive.
No, wait till the shred day. Doesn't someone offer a shredding day? They do, you can bring your documents, right? Okay, so so this couldn't be an internal, this could never be an internal job, I guess.
So I'd invite you to come in and I can show you a couple of document storage areas that we've got. This is just way too vast of a project for us to entrust anybody, on a temporary basis to take care of. It's overwhelming. It's a huge amount of documents. And I think there's a certain level of care and professionalism that has to exist to get a project of this magnitude done the right way. And like we've talked about, sort of some of the sensitivity of information that's included and all of those considerations.
Okay, and then my last, Aaron brought was storage. My last company did this and storage was very costly and they ended up having to move the boxes out because it really added up quickly. So just, I guess if they're all being shredded right after and there's no storage, then that's great. But the storage adds up real quickly, on this. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Any other questions? Wayne?
This covers existing documentation, correct?
Yes.
It's all existing.
What about, we're gonna be around another year or so. What about future documents?
They digitize it now. It's all, there's no, Doug, isn't that correct? It's all, computerized now?
So we would be shifting, Joe, to paperless.
Right.
So that's what we're in the process of doing right now. The problem is we just have, as Tim shared, it's just too much in the queue right now, to kind of move all of our historical documents.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Any other questions or comments?
So I move that we accept the Inception Technologies quote for human resources, scanning of files, for the sum of $30,664 as a not to exceed number.
A second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. John?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Unanimous.
You guys can't screw around with these things.
43,799.
That's
43,
when I'm about
799.
to read it and somebody's moving it. No, I don't. I move that we accept the Inception Technologies quote for the other documents, not human resources.
Special
Is
education.
it all sped?
Yes.
For the sped documents, for the sum of $43,700, not to exceed $43,799.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none. John?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Unanimous. And the first one was not to exceed, so.
Yes, I said that.
Yeah. All right, before we let you go, Doug,
Yep.
I have your letter. This has to do with the name spaces at the high school. And I think the best thing to do is for me to read it, Doug, unless you want to make a presentation of it, if that's all right, or.
No, you're more than welcome to read the letter that I provided.
All right, the district and school administration write to formally inform our support for the continuation of several named spaces in the newly constructed WMHS that hold long-standing educational and community significance. These designations recognize individuals whose contributions have had a meaningful and lasting impact on the school and the town of Wakefield, and they continue to serve as important symbols of institutional history, pride, and continuity. Specifically, the administration supports the continued naming of the Sean F. Beasley Track and Field, the Governor Volpe Memorial Library, the Frank Charbonneau Fieldhouse, parentheses, as well as the cafeteria named after Assistant Principal Dennis O'Leary. These names and spaces are a continuation of the existing spaces and will also be within the scope of our support. Each of these named spaces reflect a legacy of service and community that aligns with the district mission and core values. The administration also supports continued acknowledgement of the financial and community support provided by Wakefield Savings Bank in the construction of the current Black Box Theater in the old building. At the same time, we believe that the naming of the new auditorium in the new WMHS should be determined through a new current and transparent process that reflects present-day guidelines, community input, and established district practices. This approach balances respect for past contributions with thoughtful stewardship of new facilities. And if you have any questions, anything else you want to add to that, Doc?
No, I hope that covers it. I think,
Covers it for
you know,
me.
yeah.
Now, we were considering talking about adding a plaque outside the new auditorium in recognition of the Savings Bank and the individuals who contributed with the names on their seats to have something as well, but that's something that would be beyond the naming of spaces. This is not a named space. There are also memorial things such as memorial trees, plaques that are throughout. This does not affect them at all. Those will be continued. This is just named spaces. And they would just be the track, the Volpe Library, the Charbonneau Fieldhouse / gymnasium, and Dennis O'Leary Cafeteria. Does anybody have anything else that Doug or Tim to add?
No, I think just to provide some context or kind of thinking behind the letter that was provided to Joe. One of the things that I think that kind of reflected our conversation, both with PBC and internally, was, spaces that have existing names for students and or personnel. We wanted to continue to honor those spaces. These are not newly named spaces. They are existing spaces. The difference between spaces that are named after people in the community, former students, former administrators, the difference between spaces that are named after personnel from the community and the savings bank is that the savings bank is a commercial business. And kind of they were instrumental in helping us construct the Black Box Theater. But in the new high school, we don't have a Black Box Theater. And like Joe said, we're going to acknowledge both the first branch, the branch that was opened in the high school, as I've been informed, the first one in the country. So there'll be kind of a recognition for that, but there'll also be recognition of the past work that the Savings Bank has done for us in helping us build the Black Box Theater and the naming of the seats and all of that. We don't want to lose that opportunity to kind of do that. Does that cover our conversation, do you believe, Joe?
I believe so. Any questions or comments from the committee? John?
First, I think, in talking to a current student, the keeping of like the field house and all those will be helpful to the students. They'll still know where they're going when they talk about the building. So my daughter, who's a sophomore, was a big fan of that. So I think that's good that you want to do that. With the Savings Bank Theater, I have trouble thinking about this one because, like you said, it's a commercial business that did something in the current building and gave money towards that. Now we have a new building that 27,000 taxpayers are paying for this building.
Correct.
Why are we giving recognition to something that's done? Well, I thought that the letter said we were doing something with the savings bank.
The only thing we're doing with the savings bank is the same we're doing with the savings bank and the people that gave from the town is a plaque.
We're acknowledging past contributions.
Past contributions. We're not naming anything.
And
No, I know we're not naming it.
And
We've just struggled in how to, it's more the name, it's more to me, the names of the people that in the community that.
I agree with that.
And then, but if you do that, you then also need to kind of recognize the savings bank as part of that.
It's just weird, I guess, in a new building to have something for something that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, the savings bank had like the first nationwide educational bank, and they're going to acknowledge that. I think we should also note that this is one of the very first projects the Permanent Building Committee ever did was the Black Box Theater, so they should name it after us.
Should just be the Joe Bertrand Theater. No, that's just my comments. It's not a.
We've struggled with, as you know,
We've
been dealing with
this
this for 6 months. And we gotta come somewhere or else we'll just keep circling.
Right. So
I don't disagree with any of your comments,
So
but
Doug, if you could rewrite the letter to the town council.
that, or do we just ask you to forward it?
Jonathan is here. Jonathan indicated before that a letter should go from you, Doug, you either signed with me or indicated you discussed it with us, as to the naming, we send it to the town council. They then will set up, they have to set up a hearing in 30 days or something like that, Jonathan?
Yep.
And so there's a public hearing on the names, and then, we'll appear and talk about it, I guess, then, in front of the town council, since they are the sole, party responsible for naming. So I get that right, Jonathan?
That's right, yeah, so we have to schedule the hearing 30 days, I mean, it'll happen at the town council meeting, but the notice just has to go out 30 days.
So are we giving you permission to sign it along with
Yeah.
Doug? So I move that we give Joe permission to sign a letter along with Doug to represent the discussion that took place tonight regarding naming opportunities at the new high school.
Second, thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. John?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Chip?
Yep.
Mark?
Yes.
Unanimous. Thank you, Doug. I think one last thing. I know that there was a meeting, Doug, that you had regarding the moving and things of that nature.
Yes.
I went to, we've had several discussions with it within the committee and about the donation of desks, chairs, whatever we can donate, we want to donate. Anything we can donate, we want to donate. I know there's a whole process going about that where we have to go to the town and ask if they want anything. And there's a whole process that has to be done, but I want to make sure that we stay in line with this concept of the moving and everything with the concept of donating as much as we possibly can. We did this with the Galvin. We actually were donated, I was reminded by it, but I didn't remember it, but I was reminded we donated things to Rwanda. And we've already donated things, the lights and everything to Sierra Leone and a women's health clinic. We want to keep that up throughout the entire project all the way through. So we want to make sure that we don't miss anything in that regard.
I guess the other thing I would add, Doug and Tim, is reuse of anything coming from the building to any one of the other schools. Is there an opportunity to upgrade desks? So, you know, if there's been new stuff bought for the high school, you know, is there an opportunity to reuse, or do any of the other schools need anything that might be coming out of the building?
Message delivered. I think it's Chris and his team presented like they were all over it. They were very prepared to kind of have this discussion. And so Tim can speak to this as well, but I think message delivered, and I think that was part of the plan to kind of do what you're describing. So I think everyone is on the same page. Tim?
There's not much here at the high school or there at the high school that is, you know, really worthy of moving around the district. I mean, the things that are worthy of doing that will be moved, and Amy and I have discussed that at length. What can be repurposed elsewhere? Anything that is that you know meets the standard will be repurposed, and naturally we'll be open to discussions about donations and things of that nature, and be meeting with you all about that and how we do that. But it's definitely something that we're looking at and reviewing at this point now.
All right, thank you. Anything further for Doug or Tim? Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Karen, like you mentioned about the donation thing.
Thank you.
Some names as well that we will coordinate and work with. All right, change order number 18.
Okay, PCO 133 is PR 80, power revisions at the tech / net office. Also at A 1035 waiting, general office, reception and culinary arts. These are just added outlets for $558. PCO 160 PR 117 is device revisions in the phone booths. This added devices and then some deleted devices for a net credit of $1,569. PCO 162 is BR 95. It's added vent piping and restroom DT 1082.3 for $2,577. PCO 165 is PR 113. Decreased size of the glass drying racks. That is for a credit of $8,090. PCO 175 is remake granite and precast, 2 pieces each at east and south side of B building. We're running into layout dimension issues with the current wall opening at the south side of B, and then a window opening on the east side of B, which we had to make 1 precast and 1 granite base at both locations for a total of 4 pieces, and that is $5,959. PCO 176 is PR 115. It's added power to employees in buildings E and F, and added data kind of cut off building. Oh, sorry, building it. That's for $13,739. PCO 181 is 10 gravel construction roads around the building. We asked Quigley to provide a 10th gravel road around the building to get us through the winter and be able to access the site and plow safely. This is $34,222. PCO 183 is to replace damaged curb in the upper lot by a snowplow last season. This is for $1,240. PCO 184 is furnish and install 12-inch tall corridor wall base to achieve a total height of 7 feet 1 inches. We did this to ensure alignment with surrounding architectural elements. This is for $30,688. PCO 718 is RFI 298.1. This is fabricate and install miscellaneous metal sleeves at 3 locations where the volleyball posts align with structural steel. And then the locations that don't line up with steel, we provide a pre-manufactured sleeve adapter that bolts under the slab to get the volleyball posts on. This is for $3,374. PCO 727 is install interior brick ties furnished by Mason. The masonry spec calls for the structural steel vendor to weld the brick ties into the interior columns. We did not buy this with the structural steel vendor, so we asked the Miss Metal Sub to provide this labor for us. This is for $15,954. PCO 728 is the vent plate at stair A1 was found to be damaged when we went to install the current wall. We have the Miss Metal Sub cut it out, bring it down, mold it onto a column, re-bend it to straighten it out, and then bring it back and re-roll it so we get the curve. $2,640. PCO 731 is Century PTO to accelerate the exterior frame and sheathing in F building. This is for $3,504. PCO 734 is overX and replace the unsuitable material with structural fill per the geotech civil engineer request for portions of the retaining wall 1 footing scope, including excavation beyond subgrade of unsuitable fill, replace it with structural fill and grade for lean concrete mud bat, and place an additional 6 inches of crushed stone above and beyond the scope that we had quickly. This was for $36,350. PCO 735 is additional rock excavation at the amphitheater and behind building A. Last spring when we were putting in the drainage piping, we before we could install that drainage piping. This is just $72,640. And then the last PCO is PCO 736, hauling organic fill that we couldn't use on site to the town yard so we can get access to more room on site. This was for $1,410.
All right, any questions or comments? This is all on with contingency, on contingency?
And
And hold,
the
and
mixture.
allowances.
Yep.
I have some questions.
All right, yeah.
So the first one, the TV displays, is that like from a fully coordinated, like you went through all the visual screens and you found 2 locations that we didn't have power, or there are more of these likely coming?
No, it's coordinated.
Okay, so now it's like working all locations. Okay. And then, it looks like you're using electrical equipment pre-purchase holds to fund the remaining excavation related changes. Okay, that's just because we have hold and we don't need it anymore.
Correct, we have those pre-purchase equipment on site. And it's,
Okay, that's fine. That's it.
Okay, all right. Anybody else? Any other questions or comments? Being none.
I move that we accept change order number 18, which is a 0 change to the contract, but a total amount of within the internal contingency and hold transfers for $215,198.
Second. Any further questions or comments?
My only other comment would be these holds and transfers have already been reflected in the earlier numbers that we saw for contingency. So those are good after this.
Anything else? John?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Phil?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's slide it back.
Lucky you didn't screw up. Surprised you did. Speaking of screwing up, you're,
Here he goes. I'm gonna give you an abbreviated schedule. So in the photo that was just up on the screen was the masonry. So as we all know, we had some hiccups with the precast. We're kind of beyond that at this point. The precast is on site, and we're proceeding. We're completed with one elevation, top to bottom. We're completed with I'll say 95% of the elevations across the roof, and we're working on 3 elevations currently around the building: south side of E building, south side of A building, and then east side of B. We've also got mass climbers going up on the west side of B and C, pipe scaffold on the south side of B and on the east side of E at this point. Lots of winter protection going on, just setting up to kind of keep the masons forward progress moving through the path of the winter to kind of keep this moving. So they are continuing to make good progress. But as you can see on the left there, that's some of the elevations on the roof, and that's the north side of A there on the right. So with respect to the roof, we did last month basically complete the balance of the installation of the roof onto D and E building. So that was wrapped up, and Greenwood is now proceeding with all the perimeter flashing. They've gotten into doing a lot of the metal work as well. So they should be pretty close to wrapping up sometime towards the middle end of January with the roofing aspects, and probably continuing on for a little bit thereafter, just kind of cleaning up the metal. They're actively putting on the canopy roofs at this point now. So with curtain wall and windows, we are also had some glass QC related issues, which has held up kind of completing the stairwells, but we're working through some of those hiccups now with Blue Star. Took a good sized glass delivery last week, another one tomorrow. So we're hopeful to have stairs A1 and B2 completed probably towards the middle of next week with the 2 of those. Curtain wall 15 on stair D1 is also progressing. That's down to the left of the main entrance. And we're also have been told by Sunrise that the Okalux glass for curtain wall 13 in the media center is in the country. We're waiting for it to clear customs so that we can get that up to site. So hopefully early January we'll start to see that stuff start showing up and get going. But they're also working on installation of the acoustic screens across many of the roofs, and they've started to install the finished panels on the north elevation of A building. Mostly in framing and insulation at this point, but we will start to see the panels going up in the coming week. Window company Lockheed is going to be back with us shortly to start doing some of their deep caps. So that'll be followed by doing the caulking as they work their way around the building. And then to the inside with Century Drywall, they're pretty much substantially complete in the classroom wing at this point. They're drywall taped, sanded out. We're kind of into finishes over there, so they're finishing up drywalling the second floor of D at this point. We've got the gym being taped and sanded right now, getting that prepped for masonry. And they're just getting started down onto the first floor of D with drywall down there. Also going to be starting over in the central office area of F, doing some drywall there next week as well. Excuse me, and we're just getting through some of the bathroom areas and cleaning up some loose ends with the locker rooms as that masonry does get completed down there on the interior side as well. So in the classroom wing though, with finishes, painter is basically down to the first floor with this primer and first coat. Ceiling company is K&K is working through first floor at this point. Most of 2 and 3 has been completed. They're kind of falling back, cleaning up some loose ends in the science rooms. And we're working on to getting some of the cuts installed and working with the MEP trades on getting finishes in those ceilings over there. Trying to get into a plan with Capital Floors to get the mock-up room done. They'll be on site with us in early March to get going on floors. Tile company High Points has been actively working through corridors on second floor. They actually did start third floor corridors this week. And after we get some of the bathroom ceilings completed in the gang bathrooms in B, they'll start to do the bathroom stall tile and get that going. You guys have all seen the mock-up tile as you walk through on site some of the past visits. So millwork wise, we've got the JTI has been there with Polyblar installing all the window surrounds, the stone sills, and we do have the mock-up in place up on 3 for the one of the portals. Casework is another thing that'll get started in early January. And then Maganaro is just another one. We're trying to get some of the stuff with the marker boards up into the mock-up classroom there. But over to the auditorium side, High Output has been working with us up on the platform there. They've got all of their high work completed. And I didn't mention earlier, but we do have Lanco is going to be finishing up the lowering of that platform to keep the progress going there with the MEP trades as well. So that should be wrapping up on Monday. But just related to some of the MEPs, the plumbers are, in terms of rough, they're completed through all of A, B, and C. They're down in D building, finishing up first floor rough on the second half of D, as well as working into E and F. Their insulators are kind of actively going through the bathrooms just ahead of the drywall portion. And they did make delivery of their hot water system over the last week. So we're getting some of those components put into place and getting some of that piping done. And these guys are also just working with the masons, cleaning up the rough in the locker rooms. Fire protection wise, we are sort of substantially complete with rough with these guys. They're working through their finishes in the classroom wing, getting flex heads down into ceilings. Also working on that platform in the auditorium. They've got one more layer of heads to do now that we've lowered that platform. And they're also working on hydro testing of the fire protection system. We did the high area of the auditorium on Monday this week, and did second floor today. We'll be doing third floor tomorrow, just basically getting water tests through the system ahead of kind of closing up any of the hard ceilings in the classroom wing. So PJ Kennedy is down to their last delivery of mechanical equipment coming next Monday. So the remaining 7 units will be delivered next week. They've been actively working on basically piping out and testing all the condensers on the roof, as well as installing cassettes and split system units throughout buildings D, E, and F. They've had their insulators just finishing up loose ends in classroom wing, and should be getting started over into buildings D and E next week. on a lot of the piping that's been installed over in that section, so. Last couple here with Worcester Air is working through the high rough on the stage in the auditorium. They've completed the high area of the front of house. And once that staging platform is moved down, there's some drops that they'll get in place ahead of some of the other trades getting their work in place. They've got a lot of work through the locker rooms to kind of get completed now that the block work is complete. And once all these units get set on the roof, they've got some field measures and final connections to make up for those through the month of January there. So, and then lastly with Griffin, my favorite, they're working through in-wall rough down in D. And that's going to go into early January. We've got E-building in-wall rough underway. And then the biggest thing with these guys is they're pulling out all the distribution feeders from the switchgear out into all the electric rooms. So we've got third floor of classroom wing complete, partially done on second. I'm just waiting on a delivery of wire to kind of complete the second and first floor there, but they're actively pulling out to the electric rooms on first and second floor of D. So probably through, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks of January to get all those wire pulls completed. The switchgear is ready to turn on. We've got CTs wired, meters installed. All the primaries are complete. And the only thing secondary wise that's left to kind of pull in is the emergency transformer. So they are in good shape with that stuff. And then over in the classroom wing, they are working on finishes. They've been devicing up on second and third floor. And this week, every day this week, we did take a lot of larger lighting deliveries. So good to see some of the finishes actually start to go up into the ceilings and get that stuff going. So that is going to be ongoing through the next 3 months anyways, to kind of get all these floors ready for ceilings to get closed. So other than that, that's it for progress.
So what are you guys doing in your downtime?
The other thing I didn't mention electrically is Verizon is supposed to be on site next week to pull the feeders for the telecom. We did meet with RCN, Astound, whatever they're called now. They came up today for cable access.
What keeps you awake at night? Who's your biggest struggle?
I wouldn't say, I mean, it's mostly vendor related with deliveries. The glass has been a headache.
We heard about the glass, bring one thing for one here or one over here.
Precast was a headache for a couple of months, but I mean, that's behind us. There's always something.
Any questions or comments? I would just like to note that it came to my attention somewhere that the team of the Wakefield High School construction bond team received a lot of significant awards. And congratulations from Bond.
What did they do?
We had our holiday party last week and the team won a quality award as well as some individuals as well.
Congratulations, you guys should.
I can assure you that the town of Wakefield, we're very lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
You won the James Bond Award.
I would like to add that the Wakefield High School project is the best project we have out there in terms of just quality, schedule, and just overall delivery.
Great. Good to hear.
Well, you can tell it's Christmas for you left and right.
It's been I mean, we're halfway through, which is a scary, scary thought. And, you know, we have a year to go, which will go real quickly.
Yes, it will.
We're already looking at dates up to August. You know, when you think about our meetings.
All right, Lynn. January 8th is the next tour. Working group, same day, 15th for subcommittee, and we're meeting in January for the permanent building committee Fall meeting, I thought we kicked it, did we kick that one back?
Right, because it's school vacation.
No,
Well, that's in February.
February, I thought we moved it.
Yeah, we moved
I
it to
thought we
the
moved it to the
26th.
26th. That my
Yeah.
note was that we had moved that to the 26th.
I knew we
not-
moved one
not
of
the
them, so
12th. Yeah.
let's make that correction. In February, it's gonna be on the 26th. Not the 12th,
226.
because the 12th would be too early for the invoices to be yet done. So then,
The 19th is school vacation.
I think the 26th is too late for the invoices.
We've had,
I think there was a time that we talked about the 12th being too early for FF&E, but I thought that they had worked that out.
I'm gonna be on a beach on the 12th, so, you know.
Me too.
I don't know what to say.
you two guys are going together on a date.
Well, when is school vacation?
Is that
The week after. But everybody starts on Thursday and.
No, not
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot
that's
of-
fine. No, I thought we had to the 26th because of.
I thought we did too.
But to Lynn's point, I don't know, it's too late to get the.
It's kind of late for the application for payments from bond because they got to get all the subcontractors paid.
All right, that just means that the other people have to make sure they get their invoices in
On time.
on time. And I'm looking at one of them, right now. Hi, Helen.
Hey, you had one misstep. Come on.
Hey, we haven't talked to you all night. You gotta have something, to make sure you're still there, all right?
I've been standing here at the ready. I do have a question, though. We do intend to have back-to-back meetings, 8th and 15th in January. Does that make sense?
TBD. We can move the 15th working group meeting to the following week, but then the way the months stack, it would be you're gonna have 1 week in a row regardless.
Regardless, okay.
I mean, I think we can look at the working group meetings and
Yeah,
if there's not a lot to do,
We can always,
well, if we don't have, it basically comes down to that if we don't have a, change order to look at.
and we're gonna have one on the early part, that I was told today. We're gonna have one on the 8th to look at.
So we need to do the eighth.
We'll do the 8th. All right,
Well, that's before anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a working group calendar invite already for the 22nd of January from Sherry or someone. It's in my calendar.
I'll just send it out.
Someone for the 22nd, which would make more sense if we're meeting on the 8th, that our next working group would be the 22nd.
right. But if we don't need it, we won't do it.
Yeah, the PBC meeting on the 15th seems early, but that's about right, I guess,
Yeah,
right in the middle
yeah.
of the month. Yeah.
All right,
It must be a Sherry.
any other questions or anything else? More importantly.
Where are we adjourning
Have
to?
have a happy holiday and all that good stuff.
And where
And
are we
we are adjourning to the,
PK?
If you have enough time.
Yeah, I was just looking ahead to see what I had. Okay,
all right,
second.
Second to adjourn to PK?
Just adjourn at this point. Yeah.
Gonna make the motion before you second.
the motion is made and allowed, move, get, time to move.
Good night.
You're gonna find me.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays. Merry Christmas.
All right.
Happy New Year.